What I want to do, so what I want to do today is to show you how to solve a full reading test. Okay? How to solve a full reading test for IELTS. Yes. That's what I want to deal with today. I'm going to show you the steps or the approach, okay? The approach that I usually use, especially when it comes to computer-based tests. Well, it can also be applied to paper-based tests. But you see, because we are working with a computer now, what I'm going to use a computer-based site for my practice. Okay. Now, let me first give you the steps. So usually, let me write out the steps here, and then you're going to see me apply. You're going to see me use those steps. So usually, I start by reading the questions and identifying keywords. That's what I usually do. Um, as my step one. That's usually my step one. Okay. So that's like, let's call it step one. I start by what? Reading the questions and identifying what? Keywords. I let those keywords register in my mind. Sometimes I read all the questions. So I start with passage one. Okay. Sometimes I'll read all the questions from maybe 1 to 5 or 1 to 13. Okay. But usually it's 1 to 5 I read. Okay. Sometimes I might just read question 1 and 2 and identify keywords. Okay. And then I will now go to the passage and I will scan step 2. Scan through the passage for those keywords. Okay. I will scan through the passage for those keywords or the paraphrases of those keywords. And then step 3 is what? Once I locate the keyword, once I locate the keyword, I focus on the sentence containing the keyword, the sentence before it, and the sentence after it. In other words, I focus on the surrounding sentences. So let me add something here. Once I locate the keyword or the paraphrase of the keyword, so I will focus on that sentence that contains the keyword, the sentence before it, and the sentence after it. You get my point? And then I will try and analyze. I will study, analyze, and pick and decide. Let me use the word decide. Decide on what the answer should be. That's it. What the answer should what the answer should be. So these are the things I do. These are the 3 steps I follow when it comes to what? When it comes to dealing with IELTS reading questions. Okay. And then, of course, after solving everything, I will mark my work and I will do self-correction. What is self-correction? Self-correction basically means that you go through the questions that you got wrong and you learn from your mistakes. Okay, so I will take some time to go through the questions that I got wrong, and then check the passage again and figure out what my mistake was, and then see whether the answers are really, really supported by the passage, so I can learn from my mistakes. We call that exercise, we call it self-correction. Okay, so I'm going to go through a full reading test now. I'm going to be solving Cambridge IELTS. I think it's Cambridge IELTS 20. Cambridge IELTS 20. I'm going to share my screen in a moment. Cambridge IELTS 20 academic test 4. That's what we're going to be dealing with. Okay. So here we are. This is our test here. This is Cambridge IELTS 20 academic test 4. So you can see that on the right side of the screen, we have our questions. And on the left side, we have our passage. Okay? So like I said, I will start with the questions. I will probably just identify keywords for questions 1 and 2. So you can see that the timer is reading. You can see 0 is counting. I'm guessing it's going to count all the way to 60. But I'm going to try and finish everything in this particular series within 1 hour or thereabouts. So complete the notes below. Choose one word only from the passage. Write your answer in the boxes. Now, so these are the boxes I'm going to type my answer inside. The life and work of Georgia O'Keeffe. So studied art, then worked as a dash in USA. What is my keyword here? USA is a keyword for me. So I'm looking at the passage now. I can't see anything like USA in the first paragraph. The second paragraph, I can see Chicago. So Chicago is in USA. New York is in USA. So let me just focus here. So look at it here. She studied the technique of traditional painting at the Art Institute of Chicago. Studied art, then worked as a dash. So worked as, that's another keyword. So after attending university and training college, she became an art teacher. That's it. Worked as a teacher. Worked as a teacher. She became an art teacher. That's it. That's our answer. She became an art teacher. Worked as a teacher. Somebody says, why am I now writing art teacher? The instruction says one word only. So you cannot write art teacher. And then even if it says 2 words, you still cannot write art teacher because you cannot say then worked as a art teacher. It should be as an art teacher. Look at what they wrote here. An art. So they should have written AN here for us to qualify for this, for art to be written. But the instruction is even one word. So it's going to be teacher. That's our answer. Number 2 says created drawing using dash. Created drawing. New York City is a keyword for me here. So let me go to the passage. I can see New York here. During this period, Kefi began to experiment with creating abstract composition in charcoal. Created drawings using charcoal. That's going to be the word, charcoal. C-H-A-R-C-O-A-L, charcoal. Created drawings using charcoal. So creating abstract compositions in charcoal and produced a series of innovative drawings. Can you see? So drawings using what? Charcoal. So it's going to be charcoal. That's number 2. Number 3, moved to New York and became famous for paintings of the city's New York. The city's what? So this is New York here. So exhibited drawings later at his gallery on the 5th Avenue, New York City. Okay, let me move to the next. Arrived in New York, and begin a career as an artist. For the next 3 decades, Stiglitz vigorously promoted her work in 22 solo exhibitions. Hold on. Moved to New York and became famous for her painting. Famous. Let me look for famous. Famous. Ups and downs. Okay. By the mid-20s, O'Keeffe was recognized. Okay. Recognized is a paraphrase for famous. Widely known, another paraphrase for famous, for the architectural pictures that dramatically depict the soaring skyscrapers, the city's skyscrapers. The city's sky, S-K-Y-S-C-R-A-P-R-S, skyscrapers. Can you see? Number 3 is going to be skyscrapers. Okay. Number 4, produced a series of innovative close-up paintings of innovative close-up paintings. Those are my keywords. Let me go back to the passage. So skyscrapers is here. Painted botanical pictures inspired by annual trips. Magnified images depicting flowers. This is going to be our answer. In a magnified paintings. Sorry, in a magnified images. Magnified. Innovative close-up. Magnified is a paraphrase for close-up. When you magnify something, you bring it closer to you and you enlarge it. That's the meaning of magnified. Magnified images depicting flowers. So this number 5 should be flowers. Begun in 1924. Old Kefi brings the viewer right into the picture. Yeah, close up, right into the picture. So that's going to be flowers. Went to New Mexico and was initially inspired to paint the many. New Mexico is a keyword for me here. Let me go and scan for New Mexico. There's nothing like New Mexico here. See New Mexico here. Old Kefi made her first extended trip to the state of New Mexico. It was a visit that had a lasting impact on her life and an immediate effect on her work. Over the next 2 decades, she made almost annual trips to New Mexico, staying up to 6 months there, painting in relative solitude. Inspired to paint the many dash, okay, relative solitude, then returning to New York each winter to exhibit the new work at Stellick's Gallery. This pattern continued until she moved permanently to New Mexico in 1949. Okay. Inspiration. There, where? At New Mexico. Okafi found new inspiration. At first, it was the numerous sun-bleached bones. Numerous sun-bleached bones. Inspired to paint the many bones that could be found there. Numerous sun-bleached bones she came across in the state's rugged terrain that sparked her imagination. That's inspiration, imagination. So this is going to be bones, many bones, numerous bones, B-O-N-E-S, bones, many bones. I hope you guys are with me. Many bones. Continue to paint various features that together formed the dramatic dash of New Mexico for over 40 years. Back to the passage. Two of our earliest and most celebrated Southwestern paintings exquisitely reproduced a cow's skull. Cow's skull. Dramatic dash of New Mexico. Dramatic dash of New Mexico. Explored other variations. Large series of pelvis pictures. Okay. Dramatic dash of New Mexico. However, it was the regions, this is a paraphrase of New Mexico. This region is referring to New Mexico. It was the region's spectacular landscape. Spectacular is a paraphrase for dramatic. Landscape of New Mexico. I think it's going to be landscape. With its unusual geological formations, vivid colors, clarity of light, and exotic vegetations that held the artist's imagination for more than 4 decades. 4 decades, a paraphrase of 40 years, can you see? Continued to paint various features that together formed the dramatic landscape. Yeah, it's going to be landscape. Number 6 will be landscape. I'll go for landscape. Number 7, traveled widely by plane in the later years and painted pictures of clouds and dash seen from above. Okay. Clouds and dash seen from above. Let's go back to the passage. Where is plane? It says traveled widely by plane. So Okefi eventually owned 2 homes in New Mexico. Okay. I'm looking for planes. Okay. Traveled widely, making trips to Asia, flying in planes, inspired our last 2 major series. Aerial views of rivers and expansive paintings of the sky view from just above clouds. Okay. Traveled widely by plane in later years and painted pictures of clouds and rivers. It's going to be rivers. Rivers. R-I-V-E-R-S. Rivers. Okay, so I've solved question 1 to 7. I'm left with 8 to 13 now. True, false, not given. Georgia Kefi's style was greatly influenced by the changing fashions in arts over the 7 decades of her career. 7 decades is a keyword for me here. Changing fashions is also a keyword. So let me see. Is there anything like that towards the end of the passage? There's nothing like 7 decades there. Nearly 80 years of age. 7 decades is on here. So I'll go back to the beginning of the passage and begin to scan closely for 7 decades. Oh, for 7 decades, can you see at the beginning here? Georgia O'Keeffe was a major figure in American art. Remarkably, she remained independent from shifting trends. She remained independent from shifting art trends. Look at it here. Georgia O'Keeffe's style was greatly influenced by changing fashions in art. Can you see that this is contradicting what we have in the passage? The passage says she was independent. In other words, she wasn't affected by the shifting. What's another word for shifting? What's the paraphrase for shifting? Who can tell me? Let me see who is following me. What is the paraphrase for shifting art trend? Especially shifting. Shifting. Who can tell me? I want you to type in the Zoom chat box. What is the paraphrase for shifting? From this statement number 8, what is the paraphrase that they used for shifting? Anybody? What is the paraphrase for shifting? Who can give it a try? Anybody? Shifting is a paraphrase for what? Shifting. Thank you. Changing. That is the word. Changing. Changing. Changing fashions in art is a paraphrase for shifting art trend. Okay? Greatly influenced is opposite of remain independent. You understand? If something is greatly influencing you, that means that you are dependent on that thing. But this passage is saying that she was independent from. So this passage, this sentence here is opposite of what we have in the statement. So our answer is going to be false. Number 8 is going to be what? The answer to number 8 is going to be false. I hope you get my point. So I'm going to pick what? False. She was not greatly influenced. She remained independent. Okay? She stayed true to her vision. Okay? Now let's go to the next question. Number 9. When Kefi finished high school, she had already made her mind up about the career she wanted. She already made up her mind. So let's see, did she make up her mind? Was her mind made up when she finished high school? Let's go check the passage. High school is a keyword for me here. Look at high school here. By the time she graduated from high school in 1905, she had determined to make her way as an artist. Yes, number 9 is true. She already made up her mind. This says she had determined to make her way as an artist. So she made up her mind already to become an artist. Number 10. Alfred Stieglitz first discovered O'Keeffe's work when she sent some abstract drawings to his gallery in New York City. So let's check Alfred Stieglitz. Alfred Stieglitz is not here. Stieglitz is here. Look at it here now. Look at it. She sent some of these drawings to a friend in New York who showed them to an art collector and photographer, Alfred Stieglitz, in January 1916. Stieglitz was impressed and exhibited her drawings later that year at his gallery on 5th Avenue, New York City, where works of many avant-garde artists and photographers were introduced to the American public. Now, let's study this thing closely. This is a tricky one. I want to show you something. Alfred Stieglitz first discovered O'Keeffe's work. I want you to take note of that, okay? First discovered O'Keeffe's work when she sent some of her abstract drawings to his gallery in New York City. So this thing is saying that what? Kefi sent some of her abstract drawings to Alfred's gallery. Now look at the passage here. She sent some of these drawings to a friend in New York. Can you see what is happening here? Who did Kefi send that drawing to? She sent it to a friend in New York. Okay? And then, what's it called now? That friend now showed the drawings to Alfred Stieglitz. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, this part of the statement that says that what she sent some abstract drawing to the gallery is not what is we have here. She sent her drawing to a friend. That's what we are saying here. It was a friend that now showed it to what? To Alfred Stieglitz. Okay? But my focus is even this part that says first discovered. Is that the time when Alfred first discovered it? We are not sure of this part of first discovered. I'm not really sure of it. This question is a very tricky one. We are not really sure of whether what's it called? Whether I first discovered it or not. We are not really sure. So I'm going to go for not giving because of this part that says first discovered. The answer is either going to be false or not giving. But I'll go for not giving here. I'm going to go for not giving. Okay? So let's go on. Number 11. O'Keefe was the subject of Stieglitz's photographic work for many years. Okay, for many years. Let's see. With Stieglitz's encouragement and promise of financial support, O'Keefe arrived in New York and begin a career as an artist. For the next 3 decades, Stieglitz vigorously promoted her work in 22 solo exhibitions and numerous group installations. Solo exhibitions, that means it was only Alfred's stuff that the guy was promoting. O'Keefe was the subject of Stieglitz's photographic work for many years. Yeah, that's true. For the next 3 decades. For many years. For many years. This thing says for the next 3 decades. Vigorously promoted her work. So I'm going to pick true. I think this one is true. It's fully supported for many years. Number 12. O'Keefe's painting of the patio of our house in Abiqui were among the artist's favorite works. Okay, favorite works. Let's see. Is there anything like favorite works here? The ups and downs of their professional and personal relationships were recorded. Okay. Favorites. I'm looking for anything like favorite works. Then painting of an Abiqui house. Where's Abiqui? Abiqui is not here. Let me check the next paragraph. New York. Abiqui is not here. It's not here. New Mexico, New York Stieglitz Gallery. I can't see Abiqui here. Okay, see Abiqui here. While the second, used as a winter residence, was in the small town of Abiqui. While both locales provided a wealth of imagery for a painting. One feature of the Abiqui house, the large walled patio with its black door, was particularly inspirational. In more than 30 pictures between 1946 and 1960, she reinvented the patio into an abstract arrangement of geometric shapes. O'Keefe's painting of the patio of her house in Abiqui were among the artist's. This part of favorite works. I don't know. Did they mention that? Is there state that is a favorite? This thing says that the large walled patio with its black door. O'Keefe's painting of the patio of her house were among the artist's favorites. We are not sure. This issue of favorites is not here. I'm not sure. I'm going to pick not giving for this one. This number 20. This number 12. I'll go for not giving. Number 13. O'Keefe produced a greater quantity of work during the 1950s to 1970s than at any other time. So look at it here. From 1950 to 1970, O'Keefe traveled widely, making trips to Asia. Flying in Spain in planes inspired our last 2 major series. In both series, Keefe increased the size of her canvas, sometimes to mural proportions, reflecting perhaps a newly expanded view of the world. When in 1975 she successfully translated one of her cloud motifs into monumental canvas, it was an enormous challenge and a special feat. The last 2 decades of the artist's life, last 2 decades. This one is 1950 to 1970. Those are 2 decades. Hold on. When did she die? 1986. Hold on. The last 2 decades of the artist's lives were relatively unproductive. This one is not about 1950 to 1970. Okefi died in 1986 at the age of 98, but a rich legacy of some 900 paintings. Wow, 900 paintings. From 1950 to 1970, Okefi produced greater quantity of work. Wow. This one, I'm not sure yet though. This number 13. I'm trying to see false, true, not giving, true, not giving, not giving. I'm not really sure of this number 13. Let me just go to the next part. Time is running. I have about 20. I've spent 20 minutes already. So let me go to part 2 now. Let's see part 2. Adapting to the effect of climate change. Are you guys still with me? Who is still with me? Let me know who is still with me. Who is still following me? If you are still following me, let me see your message. I want you to drop a message in the Zoom chat. Let me see you still following me. If you are still following me, let me see your message. All right. Thank you very much. I can see your message. Very good. Okay. So let's look at this second set of this part 2. Let's look at part 2 and see what we have there. So we have matching information there. Which paragraph contains the following information? So here now, how a type of plant functions as a natural protection. Okay. For coastline, natural protection, coastlines, those are my keywords. A prediction about how long it will take to stop noticing effects. Prediction is a keyword here. Noticing effects of climate change. A reference to the fact that a solution is particularly cost effective. Particularly cost effective is a keyword there. A mention of a technology used to locate areas most in need of intervention. Areas most in need of intervention, okay? Areas most in need of intervention. Okay, gap filling, we have Miami Beach. Miami Beach is a keyword for me here, okay? Then people, we have people here. Okay, so let me go to the passage now. I'm going to take the passage paragraph by paragraph and try and solve what I can solve. Okay, now paragraph A. All around the world, nations are already preparing for climate change and its impact. Even if we stop all CO2 emissions tomorrow, we would continue to see the impact of CO2 already released since industrial times, with scientists forecasting that global warming would continue for around 40 years. In the meantime, ice caps would continue to melt and sea levels rise. Hold on, there's something about prediction. Number 15, a prediction about how long it will take to stop noticing the effect of climate change. This is it. 40 years. Scientists forecasting that global warming will continue for around 40 years. So this is how long it will take for us to stop seeing the effect. So number 15 is matched to paragraph A. That is where I saw the statement, paragraph A. Number 15 is going to be matched to paragraph A. Let me finish it up. In the meantime, ice caps will continue to melt. Some countries and regions will suffer more extreme impact from these changes than others. It's in these places that innovation is thriving. Okay, let me see, what can I solve? There's nothing like Miami in that paragraph A. So there's no name of anybody in that paragraph A. So let me just go straight to paragraph B. Can you see the way I'm solving matching information? This is how I do matching information anytime I'm solving matching information. To maximize time. I'm not wasting my time unnecessarily. Now, in Miami Beach, Florida, that's what we saw here. The stormwater management program in Miami Beach has involved the installation of efficient dash. Okay, so Let me take that again. Let me start that paragraph again. So it says, in Miami Beach, Florida, USA, seawater is just breaching the island's city walls. It's seeping up through the ground. So the only way to save the city is to lift it up above sea level, starting in the lowest and most vulnerable neighborhoods. Roads have been raised by as much as 61 centimeters. The elevation work was carried out as part of Miami Beach's ambitious but much needed stormwater management program. Hold on. The stormwater management program has involved the installation of efficient what? I've seen stormwater management program here. In addition to the road adaptation, the city has set up new pumps that can remove up to 75,000 liters of water per minute. In the face of floods, climate mitigation strategies have often been overlooked. Where is efficient here? Efficient something. Let me go back. Starting in the lowest and most vulnerable neighborhoods, roads have been raised. Elevation work was carried out as part of Miami Beach's ambitious installed efficient what? Is it efficient city walls? No, it's not efficient city walls. Efficient pumps. How many words? One word. Installation of efficient pumps. Is it pumps? The city has set up new pumps. I think it's going to be pumps. This is going to be pumps. I'll put pumps there. I'm not really sure. It's looking like pumps is the only thing that sounds logical to me in that entire. Funny enough, I'm not seeing anything like efficient, except if maybe this calculation here represents efficient. I'm thinking this calculation here represents efficient. So new pumps. The city has set up new pumps. So number 18, I'm going to put pumps. Pumps. That's what I'm going to put there. Pumps. New pumps. Installation of efficient pumps. Because the next one is now moving to Indonesia. Indonesia is what we have in the next paragraph. See Indonesia here. So our answer is definitely going to be in this paragraph. So it has to be pumps. It has to be pumps. This name here, Yanira. I saw Yanira in that. See Yanira here. What did she say? In the face of floods, climate mitigation strategies have often been overlooked, says Yanira Pineda. She knows that they are essential and that the job is far from over. We know that in 20, 30, 40 years, we'll need to go back in there and adjust to the changing environment. Okay, so let me see the statements. It is essential to adopt strategies which involve and help, no. Interventions which reduce it, no. More work will need to be done in the future decades. Yes, that's Yanira. That statement, that's option A. Option A is matched to 25. It's the one that said that more work will need to be done in the future to deal with the impact of rising water level. That's it. He said that we know that in 20, 30, 40 years, we will need to go back there and adjust to the changing environment. What is she talking about? The fact that you have to go back and raise the floods. In the face of floods, climate mitigation strategies have often been overlooked. They are essential, but the job is far from over. That's Yanira. That's what she's saying here. That's what she's saying here. So, I've read this paragraph B. Let me check the matching information questions. Is there anyone I can solve? Plant function, no. Prediction, I've solved number 15. Preference, a reference to the fact that cost effective. They did mention cost here. Number 17, technology that is used to locate areas that, no, they didn't mention it here. So there's nothing for the matching information questions. Let me move to paragraph C now. Seawalls are a staple strategy in many coastal communities, but on the soft, muddy northern shores of Java, Indonesia, they frequently collapse, further exacerbating coastal erosion. There have been many attempts to restore the island's coastal mangroves. Plants, plants. How a type of plant functions as a natural protection for coastland. That's it. Coastal mangroves. Mangroves is a plant. Ecosystem of trees and shrubs that help defend coastal areas by trapping sediments in their net-like root system, elevating the seabed and dampening the energy waves and tidal currents. So this is matched to paragraph C. Number 14 is going to be matched to paragraph C. Is matched to paragraph C. Let me finish up that paragraph C. Elevating the seabed, but Sunatol of the not-for-profit organization Wetlands International say that while hugely popular, the majority of mangrove planting projects fail. Hold on. Sonatol. Yeah, Susanatol is here. The majority fail. Okay, no. Okay, that's not here yet. So Wetlands International started out with a different approach, building semi-permeable dams made from bamboo poles and brushwoods to mimic the role of mangrove roots and create favorable conditions for mangrove to grow back naturally. The program has seen moderate success, mainly in areas with less subsidence. Unfortunately, traditional infrastructure is often single solution focused. For long-term success, it is critical that we transition towards multifunctional approaches that embed natural processes and that engage and benefit community and local decision makers. Okay, that benefits, adopt strategies that involve and help residents of the region. Okay, that embed natural processes and that engage the community and benefit the community. That's what they are saying here. That's number 23. That who is talking as Susanna Toll. So this number 23 is matched to B, Susanna Toll. Number 23 is matched to B, Susanna Toll. That's matching. We call this thing matching names or matching information. Can you see? So let me see the gap filling. Which one can I solve from the gap filling? Number 19, the construction of Dash was the first stage of a project to ensure the success of mangroves. Ah, I saw it here. The construction of building semi-permeable dams. Dams. Number 19 is going to be dams. D-A-M-S. Dams. The construction of dams. Semi-permeable dams. You can't write semi-permeable because the instruction says one word only. So the next one, the matching information, let me see. 14 and 15 have been solved. Cost effective. No, I didn't see that there. Technology to locate areas. No, I didn't see that here. Let me go to the next paragraph. As the flood waters rose in the rice fields of Mekong Delta in September 2018, 4 small houses rose with them. Homes in this part of Vietnam are traditionally built on stilts, but these ones had been built to float. Modifications were made by Buoyant Foundation Projects, a not-for-profit organization that has been researching and retrofitting amphibious houses since 2006. When I started this, explains founder Elizabeth English. Let me see. Elizabeth English. Yeah, that name is here. Climate change was not on the tip of everybody's tongue, but this technology is becoming necessary in places that didn't previously need it. It's much cheaper than permanently elevating houses, English explains. About a third of what it would cost to completely replace a building's foundation. It also avoids the problem of taller houses being at greater risk from wind damage. Another plus comes from the fact that amphibious structures can be sensitively adapted to meet cultural needs and match the kind of houses that are already common in the community. Okay, Elizabeth English, what do we match to you? Reduce it. No, that's not English, what English said. The number of locations requiring action. No, that's not. There's nothing for Elizabeth English here. There's nothing for Elizabeth English here. Based on what I read here, I can't see any intervention. It's number of locations required. Hold on, flooding. They mentioned flooding here. This place talked about flood water rules. Hold on. When I started this project, explains the founder, climate change was not at the tip of everybody's tongue. But this technology is becoming necessary in places that didn't previously need it. Okay, about a third of what it would cost. This is about the costs. The number of locations requiring action to adapt to flooding has grown. This thing sounding like this number 20, but number of locations. That's the problem here. Number of locations. I'm not sure. Let me leave it alone. Let me check the other questions. Bangladesh, Mekong Delta, building houses that can float. Houses that can float. This is going to be float. Number 20 is going to be float. F-L-O-A-T, float. Then the matching information. Yeah, solution that is cost effective. That's what they talked about here. This one, they said is cost effective. Look at it here. About a third of what it would cost to replace the building's foundation. So they said that this thing is cheaper. Cheaper means cost effective. So number 15 can be matched to paragraph D. This is paragraph D. Number 16 can be matched to paragraph D. Number 16 can be matched to paragraph D. Okay, let me go to paragraph E now. Bangladesh is especially vulnerable to climate change. Most of the country is less than a meter above sea level, and 80% of it, okay, almost 35 million people living in the coastal belt of Bangladesh are currently affected by soil and water salinity. Says Raisa Chowdhury. Raisa, okay, that's option D. Almost 35 million people are currently affected. Rather than fighting against it, one project is helping communities adapt. ICOO has been working with 10,000 farmers to start cultivating naturally salt-tolerant crops in the region. Okay. Interventions to reduce it, no. Number of locations requiring actions to adapt to flooding. No. Okay, so the mentioned crops here, cabbage, beetroot, have been found to be better suited to salty soil than rice. Chowdhury says that the results are very visible, comparing the barren plot of land to the beautiful lush green vegetable garden sitting beside it, in which he and his team have been working with the farmers. Since the project began, farmers trained in saline agriculture have reported increases in 2 to 3 more harvests per year. That's not here. That's not reduce it is not there. Let me check. Rising sea levels in Bangladesh have made it necessary to introduce various dash that are suitable for ice. Various plants. That would be plants. Various plants. I've written plants before. Let me check that thing carefully. Various crops. They use the word crops to introduce various crops. Let's use the word crops. I wrote plants in one question earlier on. I'm thinking I saw plants somewhere. Okay, 21. What of the matching information? I've saw 14, 15, 16. Technology to locate areas. No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that here. Paragraph F now, that's the last paragraph. Greg, sports from Los Angeles. Okay, elite school street program, a series of pilot projects, which include planting trees, installation of cool pavement systems, designed to help reach the city's goal of bringing down its average temperature. Aha. Where is that one about heat? Interventions about heat. Number 24 is Greg Sports. Number 24 is going to be E. Number 24 is going to be E. This one of flooding, I'm guessing it's going to be that Susanna now. Because I've not seen anything about flooding again here. Urban cooling is literally a matter of life and death. Let me check. Gap filling. A project in LA has increased the number of dash on the city's streets. The number of dash on the city streets. Urban cooling is literally a matter of life and death for our future. Using GIS mapping tool, this is technology for identifying. GIS is a technology for identifying something. That's in paragraph F. So number 17 is going to be paragraph F. Back to the passage. Identify streets with low canopy cover in 3 of the city's neighborhoods and covered with a light gray, light reflecting coating, which already has been shown to lower road surface temperature in Los Angeles by 6 degrees Celsius. Okay, hold on. Gap filling. The number of Spot says one of these streets can now be seen as a pale crescent, the only cool spot on an otherwise red thermal imaging. A project earlier has increased the number of what? Is it the number of trees? Planting trees. Bringing down temperature. Low tree canopy cover. This thing is going to be trees. I think it's going to be trees. Number of trees has increased the number of trees on the city streets. Let me see. Planting trees. This thing is trees. The only thing here is trees. This is going to be trees. Number 22 is trees. I can't see any other thing that seems to fit well. So I've solved, I think I've solved everything here. Let me check. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, this one of number of location with flooding. The only part that talked about flooding is this Susanna Toll, this part here. I'll just match it to number 26. 26B. I'll just pick B for number 26. Hold on. Where is Susanna Toll? Sorry. Is it Susanna Toll? This flooding. Flood waters. Susanna Toll also talked about. Did he talk about flooding? No. Toll is for bamboo. Where is this? What's this person's name? Elizabeth English. That's the one for flooding. I'll just speak English for this person. C, number 26. C. I'll just pick C. Are you guys with me? Let me know who's with me. Let me check. Let me see. Who is still with me? I hope you guys are still following me. Yeah, English. Thank you. English. I think I'll just speak English. So I've solved everything for part 2. I've solved everything for part 2. I've solved everything for part 1. Let's move to part 3 now. So part 3 is matching information and another set of matching features. And then we have gap filling. All right. So a new role for livestock guard dog. So I have these are the names of people here. And then the gap filling, Namibia is my keyword here. And then for the matching information, an example of how one predator has been protected. Okay. So predator protected, introduction of livestock guard dogs. Okay. An optimistic suggestion about the possible positive development in the use of optimistic suggestion is a keyword here. A description of how the methods used by livestock guards keep predators away. Okay. It claims by different academics that the use of livestock guards is a successful way to protect farmers' herds. Okay. A reference to how livestock guard dogs gain their skills. Okay. For thousands of years, livestock guard dogs worked along shepherds to protect their sheep, goats, and cattle from predators such as wolves and bears. But in the 19th and 20th century, such predators were largely exterminated. Most guard dogs lost their jobs. In recent years, however, as increased efforts have been made to protect wild animals, predators have become widespread again. As a result, farmers once more need to protect their livestock, and guard dogs are enjoying an unexpected revival. Okay. Is there anything we can match? No. 27 cannot be matched to it. Optimistic suggestion about the possible positive developments in the use of livestock. This is a general thing I'm saying here. I can't match anything to this paragraph A. They didn't mention any name. What of the Namibia is not there. So let's go to paragraph B. Today, there are around 50 breeds of guard dogs on duty in various parts of the world. These dogs are raised, okay, from an early age. The dogs will place themselves between livestock and entrance, okay. If necessary, they will chase away the predator, but often their mere presence is sufficient. The initial training is to make them understand that livestock is going to be their life. Okay. A fluffy white puppy is fun to be around, but too much of human affection can make it a great dog for guarding the front porch. Hold on. This one is about training. Where is that one about training? A description of the methods used by livestock guard dogs to keep predators away. That's sounding like what I'm reading in this paragraph B. That's what I'm saying here. So this one is going to be option B. It's going to be option B. So then academics, they didn't talk about academics here. How livestock, how they gain their skills. Also, yeah, hold on. Can we use any letter more than once? You may use any letter more than once. Oh, that means I can pick B for number 31 too. Number 31 is also going to be B. Since they said we can use any letter more than once, then number 31 is also going to be B. Except if I now see another place where they describe how they gain their skills. Paragraph C now. Let me see. Is there any other? Namibia is not there. Is there a name in this paragraph B? Dan Macon is there. Dan Macon, the initial training is to make them understand that the livestock is going to be their life. Okay, the use of guard dogs may save the lives of both livestock and wild animals. This one, wild animals. Is it going to save wild animals? I'm not sure of that. Claims of change in behavior. No. Negative results. No. Livestock guard dogs are the best way to protect as long as the dogs are handled appropriately. Handled appropriately. No, there's nothing about handling here. This place is what I'm focusing on to decide on my answer. Teaching a livestock guard dog how to do his work. This is our answer. Number 36. This one is teaching a livestock guard dog how to do its work needs a different focus from teaching a house guard dog. Look at it here. Dan says, a shepherd with 3 guard dogs. A fluffy white puppy is fun to be around, but too much human affection makes it a great dog for guarding the front porch. That's your house, front porch. Guard house, guard front porch. Can you see? Rather than a great livestock guard dog. So the training you give to a dog like this is different from the training you give to a dog like this. This one will require a lot of human affection. So this number 36 is matched to Mr. Dan Macon. Dan Macon is option A. So number 36 is going to be option A. Number 36 is going to be option A. Namibia. I've not seen Namibia yet. Namibia, so I can't answer number 37. Next paragraph. The evidence indicates that guard dogs are highly effective. For example, in Portugal, Silvia Sibero. Where's Silvia Sibero here? See Silvia here. Silvia Ribeiro. Silvia Ribeiro, option B. Silvia Ribeiro has found that more than 90% of farmers participating in a program to train and use guard dogs to protect their herds against attack from wolves rate the performance of the dogs as very good or excellent. In a study carried out in Australia by Linda Bommel and Chris Johnson, hold on, this thing here, they found that the livestock are efficient. There's nothing here. Hold on. As long as the dogs are handled. No, it's not here. Let's go on. In a study carried out in Australia by Linda Bommel and Chris Johnson, more than 65% of herders reported that predation stopped completely after they got the dogs, and almost all the rest saw a decrease in attacks. If they are managed and used properly, who is talking here? Gomel and Chris Johnson. Linda Van Bommel. That's option C. Where is that place of if they are handled well? Number 35 is going to be C. Number 35 is going to be C if they are handled well. Then let me see the matching information. How one predator has been protected. No. Optimistic suggestion. Possible developments. No, it's not here. I can't see it here. I've done 29, 30. Claims by different academics. This is a study that the use of livestock dogs is a successful way. This number 30 is matched to paragraph C. These guys are academics in a study. University of Tasmania. Those are academics. Number 30 is going to be C. Can you see the way they are doing paraphrasing for us? It's going to be C. Paragraph D now. My time is running out. I've done 53 minutes. Today's guard dogs also have a new role to preserve predators. This is going to be 27. Number 27 is going to be D. I don't need to waste my time. Number 27 is going to be D, to preserve predators. I'm sure that the predator is going. Namibia. Let me go down to that place that talks about Namibia. Namibia. Livestock guard dogs have been used to protect domestic animals from attacks by cheetah. This has led to a rise in the deaths of other predators, particularly dash. Okay? In Namibia, more than 90% of cheetahs live outside protected areas, close to humans raising livestock. As a result, the cheetahs have been held responsible for animal losses. When guard dogs were introduced, more than 90% of farmers reported dramatic reduction. Okay? Particularly dash. If ranchers don't have a dead cow, they will not make a call to apply for permit to kill a wolf. Particularly wolf. Is it wolf? This has led to a rise in the deaths of other predators. 90% of farmers reported as a result. This thing, it's not wolf. Let me check. Let me check further. Cheetah. Looking at published evidence, 88% of farmers said they no longer kill predators after using dogs. But one that such self-reported reports must be taken with a pinch of salt. See wolves again. Is it wolves? Particularly wolf. I don't know. Particularly wolf. I'm not sure of this number 37. Namibia. Cheetah. When guard dogs were introduced. So I think I'll just leave it as wolf. We're gonna mark. In addition, it has been suggested that dogs could have dash, which may affect other species, and that they may reduce the amount of dash available to certain wild animals. Dogs could have dash, which might affect other diseases. Dogs could have dash. Okay? Dogs could have what now? When guard dogs were introduced, more than 90% of farmers reported dramatic reduction. Julie Young. Okay? There is a common ground for the livestock from the livestock perspective and from the conservation perspective. If ranchers don't have a dead cow, cow is not a predator. They will not call for a permit to kill a wolf. A wolf. Let me go on. Looking at all published evidence, Bethany Smith, Nottingham Trent University, found that 88% of farmers no longer kill predator after using dogs. Livestock guard dogs merely displace predators to unprotected neighboring properties where their fate isn't recorded. In some regions, we work with almost every farmer, but in others, only one or two have dogs. If we are not working with everybody, we are transferring the wolf pressure to the neighbor's herds, and it can use poison and kill an entire pack of wolves. Dogs could have something. Let me go further. Another concern is whether there may be unintended ecological effects of using guard dogs. Studies suggest that reducing deaths of one type of predator may have effects on another species. The extent of this problem isn't known, but the consequences are clear in Namibia. See, Namibia is showing up again. Cheetahs aren't the only species that cause sheep and goat losses. The other predators also attack. In 2015, researchers reported that in spite of farmers obtaining guard dogs on cheetah, the number of jackals killed by dogs increased. Jackals. This thing is jackals, particularly jackals. 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 So, this has led to a rise in the death of other predators, particularly jackals. Can you see? The number of jackals killed by dogs increased. So that's it. Jackals is better than wolf, actually. In addition, it has suggested that dogs could have dash. Okay? This has been found to spread disease. They have been found, that's disease. DISEASES. Could have diseases which may affect other species, and that they may reduce the amount of dash available to certain wild animals. Reduce the amount of what? They may compete with other carnivores for food. That's going to be food. 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 Can you see? All my answers to this one, they are towards the end. On the other hand, these dogs may help birds by protecting their nests. This might otherwise be threatened by predators short as. Okay, birds. Let me look for birds. These nests. Foxes. That's going to be fox. Number 40, foxes. Foxes. I have less than 1 minute to go. Let me see. I've not done 28. Let me try and see if I can solve that 28. Optimistic suggestions about the possible development in the use of livestock guard dogs. Optimistic suggestion. Where is the optimistic suggestion? This one is concern. Paragraph F is concern. Paragraph G. I think paragraph G is our answer. They can deliver unexpected benefits. This number 28, I'm going to pick paragraph G for it. What of 32, 33, and 34? The use of guard dogs may save the lives of both livestock and wild animals. Livestock and wild animals. Who said that? Ribeiro. Is it Ribeiro? No. No. Let me check towards the end. Australian researchers, guard dogs. I can't see anything like that here. Totally accurate. May not be totally accurate. Where is that one that says pinch of salt? Pinch. I saw something about pinch of salt. Australian study. Tasmania. Efficient methods. Okay. Held responsible. Where is that? I saw a pinch somewhere. Okay, look at the pinch of salt. Who is talking here? Bethany Smith. What's Bethany Smith? That's option E. Number 33 is going to be E. I'm going to pick E for number 33. And then number 34. Let me see. There may be negative results if the use of livestock guard dogs is not sufficiently widespread. Is not sufficiently widespread. Hold on. This is going to be Ribeiro. If we are not working with everybody, we are transferring wolf pressure to the neighbor's ad. That's Ribeiro. Number 34 is going to be B, Ribeiro. Number 34 is going to be B, Ribeiro. So I'm left with 32. Time is already up anyway. The thing has passed 1 minute. So, 1 hour. But let me finish it up and then I'll submit. Who is still with me? Let me see. Are you guys still with me? You guys, are you still with me? Number 32. The use of guide dogs will save the lives of both livestock and wild animals. Who said that? Okay, this is it. You will not apply for a permit to kill a wolf. That's going to be Julie Young. There is a common ground from the perspective of livestock and from conservation perspective. They were less likely to kill predators. So livestock and wild animals, that's going to be Julie Young. Number 32 is going to be D, Julie Young. So ladies and gentlemen, I've solved everything. Let me check what my answer will be. I'm going to submit now. I solved everything in part 1. Part 3, part 2, and part 1. Let me check what my answer will be. It's most likely I'm going to get some questions wrong. So let's submit. Submit. So it's evaluating my score. Hey, 39/40. Which one is wrong? Oh, number 10, not giving. All my answers are correct except for number 10. Interesting. Wow, let me go and check that number 10. Oh, is that one that I remember this number 10? Number 10, where is it? Number 10, this one. Look at it here. Alfred Steglitz first discovered O'Keefe's work. They said the answer is false. So I'm going to click on explain more. So it's going to show me, look at what it's going to, this website, very good website, very, very good. The passage says that O'Keefe gave her drawings to a friend and then the friend took them to Steglitz. This means Steglitz did not find her work first. Someone else brought it to him. Can you see the explanation? Well, I agree with the explanation. No argument. I agree with the explanation. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's a contradiction. So this statement is a contradiction to what we have in the passage. So I guess you guys have you have learned something from my exercise. You see the way I solved it in about let's say 62 minutes, 62, 63 minutes. And I still got my band. This is like band 9. Look at it, my score, band 9. So, ladies and gentlemen, practice. You improve your skill by doing lots of practices like this. The more you practice, the better you get. And it's important that you learn to practice with what? You practice with, what's it called? With questions like this. Websites like this going to help. I'm going to send you a link to a full reading test like this again for you to do as your assignment for today. I hope you get my point.